our weekly review, just to sort of go through price action for the last week. And yeah. Start like this. Right, so right, if we're looking at this from like a Forex perspective, right? All right, actually, here's a good exercise. Let's try and make this one a little bit like if you were just looking at this market. I don't want to like try to think objectively, right? Don't think this is, you know, blah 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 blah, whatever. Like I've seen all this play out, right? But I want you to tell me just from here, right? Which like would you be trading towards this high or this low at present? Because that's always what we're doing, right? We're trading, like the idea is that we're always trading towards a higher or low, right? So yeah, if you want to annotate, just annotate there and yeah. Or don't. Oh, okay. Level 3 is enough, I'll take that. All right, well, if we're looking at this like objectively, right? We're looking for a high, or like we're looking to trade away from strong areas, right? Okay, here we haven't had a break of structure, right? But we have created some form of lower high, right? Not a swing high, nothing like that, but we've created some form of lower high, right? So which area is weak? This, because it's not created anything, right? Obviously, like I'd spent part of the week trading towards this as well. You know, we all get shit wrong. Like it's just looking over it objectively and saying, okay, well, what didn't we spot? Do you know what I mean? Like this is what a weekly review should be about. Where was I good? Where was I weak? Where, you know, like this is what all you lot should be doing, right? Is going like, well, what did I miss? Like, why didn't this do this? Why didn't this do this? And look at it with hindsight. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how you learn. But yeah, initially, right, we have a weak low, right? So we can trade towards this, right? We've also taken out this level of, I think I said to Lewis, like, did I say it to you, Lewis? Like, I remember saying we shouldn't have taken out that low. If we take out that low, we're probably taking out this low. And then I went against all my own advice and decided to try and get long from here anyway. But yeah, that's not the point. You're muted, by the way, mate, if you're trying to speak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you did say that, mate, yeah.
But yeah, cool. So we've got our last 4H thing. This has broken stuff within here, right? But yeah. We've obviously seen this fails close below, this failed to break the high, right? So now, in theory, this should have broken the high, right? If this breaks the high, then we can trade from there, right? If this doesn't break the high, then we should, anything we get from here, it's not that we can't trade from it, but anything we get from here should be short-term trades to do the other thing. So, but right, cool. So yeah, we've got a decent idea. We can also say, it's not supply, that's demand, isn't it? We can also then say, all right, well, we've got this as well, right? And we can always take this like little wick into consideration. It is still part of the POI, right? But yeah, essentially, right, if we're framing up our first, there, we also this, right? The initial thinking, right, we may do something like this, right, into here and then react from here, or then potentially push the high, or yeah, you know, like a bunch of different things. But that would be my initial thought process would be, where, right, that's it. This hasn't done anything up here. This is broken structure. This is taken out a point of liquidity. This has done the same thing. It's broken some form of structure and it's taken out a point of liquidity. Right. We've also obviously got 4H, and there is a very nice 15M in there that the FOMC trade comes from. But yeah, and it's always good to look, like, just another thing to note, right, is it is actually always good to look at this, right, because you will see this a lot. You will see, right, price comes to the last sell, right? This is last sell to buy range, this is last sell, right? If we go and look at that on the lower time frame, wow. Look how pretty that is. You know what I mean? Little doji sitting there chilling, trying to act like it's done nothing wrong at all, right? Equal lows above it. Yeah, like really nice area to look for a trade from, right? So cool, right? Okay, coming in London open Friday morning, right? Again, where's our last supply point? Well, here, right? This is our range essentially. It's correctly formed. It's run a point of liquidity. It's broken some form of structure. There is interaction over here to the left, right? So, and at this point, we've just got this pool of liquidity here, right? We're creating bearish order flow. We've had a boss, for one of the better word, chart, whatever you want to call it. Right, so we've got a point of liquidity. Trade. Cool, London open comes in, right? And obviously here, we don't want to be jumping on the seconds, right? Because we don't hit anything in particular, but we just need to be aware that's the whole range, right? I mean, you get charged there, so yeah, you could, in theory, get that. It's a little aggressive, maybe, but you don't really need seconds on that. Makes enough sense. Maybe take a hit on it or not. No? Or you'd shit yourself a bit there. But would you be risk off by them? No, you wouldn't. No, you'd fully shit yourself there. But hey ho, such is life. Yeah, and you're just trading that, and you, I mean, obviously, like you can see what's happened here, right? We've tapped back into the POI. We've taken out a little bit of liquidity here. Yes, we haven't hit anything specific, but we've had 1M church and flip, right? Liquidation. It's like literally every trade, liquidation. Mitigation and V-shaped recovery. Right. Super simple. All right, take down the seconds as well if you want, but yeah, at that point you don't really need to. I mean, I probably would because I'm an idiot, but I'll probably end up fucking like taking a loss in here or something like that. But yeah. Right, and you know what are we targeting with that? This. All right, that's it. We don't need anything. It's a 1 to 24 on a fucking Monday morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, not exactly bad, is it? Come on, go check that. Price completes the objective fairly spectacularly. And then it's like, cool, okay, well, now what we can look for? Well, now we've had a run on a week low, right? So we've got something over here. We also have that larger 4H POI to the left here, right? So again, we can just wait for 1M, little 1M Chocharuni. All right, well here, and now let's just start marking this out. So here we've got a whole last supply range. All right, so here's the first one. Reaction pushes down, reaction fails to continue from here. Right, generates liquidity for that. Nice. What do we have? Yeah, we have. I mean, we have these highs here. We have these equal highs over here. We've got this wick up here as the extreme. You know what I mean? Like we've got plenty to target there. Reasonably, we'd be targeting this supply, right? We're not going to try and be silly and target the fucking 1M wick. That's just dumb. Yeah, cool market. Continues to fuck around a bit. Oh, okay, it comes a little bit lower, but you can still definitely validate that, right? Because it's the extreme. So let's just go and see if we could get an entry here. I don't really get a traction there. There is an argument for saying you could use a buy stop in there. Potentially slightly riskier. But yeah, you could just say, okay, well, I'm seeing a range and a reaction to this. So I can either put like a buy stop above this, right? Saying that if this supply goes likely, I'm going to see price push up to like these points of liquidity up here, right? Because again, look what we're getting, right? We're getting liquidation, mitigation, start of a V-shaped recovery. The problem is we haven't seen a traction flip there, so it's always risky. But yeah. Yeah, let's see if this develops a little bit more. So I wouldn't love to take that. I'm gonna lie, right? No, all right, there's your entry. Cool, that makes sense. Yeah, because here I'd be perfectly happy. Right, I mean the gaps are hard call, like to be honest. But if I saw that reaction to it, I'd probably just smash buy on the way up there, because you can see that this is like where the interaction with the last supply point comes, right? Like you get something within here, you just get this gap that pushes through, stops like here, something like these gaps are money basically, right? So I'd probably just say, okay, well, I've started to see a V-shaped recovery. I'll just like smash buy there if I can get my stop below the way and take the fucking risk basically. Because I'd be expecting higher prices from that for sure. Whether it works out or not, these types of trades are always a bit riskier. So it gets you break even, do you stay in? Oh, yeah, you do. I mean, there's the other argument as well, saying you could wait for a higher low here, which you get when this completes, right? So you could just wait again here and get in here. Like there's always multiple entries to these trades, right? But yeah, basically I'd be looking at taking all of that out into that. Because we're coming off the thingy, right? Because we're coming off the 4H. Yeah. Does that make sense so far, everyone? Let's see. Lewis on the right. Would that doji be a flip? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to everyone so far. Cool, perfect. Nothing like untoward there. Yeah, potential for more sells from that as well. Yeah, you could potentially sell from up here. You've got the unmitigated PI here. Right, it is still valid for that point if you want to hedge. Very good hedge there. So yeah, nice. Yeah, like you see it straight away, right? One in touch, one in flip. I mean, yeah, reasonably just getting off that one. Yeah, you're not gonna take a second fucking intro. Yeah, it's definitely a way into that trade. I mean, I'd probably just hit that again when it comes back up to this range. If I saw this chotch again, like this logo here, I'd probably just take this whole range here, something like that. I think I did do that, to be honest. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, there's your hedge. And this is hedging. Like all we're doing, right? A couple of people were asking about hedging earlier. Like literally, just be open to both ideas. Do you know what I mean? Don't tie yourself to one bias. You go, I'm just buying, I'm just selling. Right? You can market moves both fucking ways. Yeah. Again, now we've had a 15 and chart, so reasonably, I'd be looking at this. This comes lower into this. This I wouldn't be able to validate personally. Yeah. It's just one of them ones. Yeah, price continues up. Fuck's around a bit here, isn't it? Yeah. Again, you could probably look for shorts away from this. What time is this? It's a bit late. But yeah. Yeah, here now we've got more demand here because we know we've chart strike, we've built liquidity here. This is a valid extreme that does something, right? It breaks this high here, we've got liquidity here. High is still weak. So yeah. Probably want 15 M chotch at this point in time, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, there you get your 15 and chotch, so you can look for longs down here, depending on how that forms. Yeah, there you get your 15 and chotch. There's your highlight. There's your POI. That makes sense to everyone, like the way I looked at that. Quick. The way I looked at that quickly. Sorry. Yeah, chotch, yeah, well, chotch and flip here. Really, you can get in here. Do you know what I mean? Like, or you can wait a little bit for a little bit more development and get in there. But yeah, that's your chotch and flip. Oh, position there. Yeah, I'm just looking at trading into that. That works well. Now you have a decision to make, right? We come into the extreme. So it's, are you happy trading from the extreme? Personally, I'm always happy trading from the extreme. Like, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, I would take, like if I get anything like that, I'd be happily in that, like from here. Do you know what I mean? Like, just get me a call, I can fucking shoot that person. Comes back into that. So give you a chotch from here. Trades a bit higher, which is again why we play reactions. Now it's come to like the very extreme. Okay, well, this is, I mean, this is much a case of if it's going to go, it's going to go, right? So I'd just probably stick a sell stop below there. I just take the fucking risk, to be honest. Yeah. Stock's not the best positioned. Like, it's a bit there. Let's see if this works. Yeah, you didn't have the traction. This is always the risk with sell stops that they run you out. Like you could wait for this and get in with your stop a little bit better up there. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, this would make enough sense for me to do that. Because I'd just be like, well, it's fucking extreme. You know? Like if this level is going to hold, it's going to be from there. And then this, I remember this price action just delivered. Oh, see, that's why sell stops are risky. It's what happens with them often. So in this case, if you had been a little bit more patient and just waited there, you stay in the trade, right? You can, of course, wait for like a bit of non-commitment. But yeah. Yeah, you get a flip there. Yeah, you could show that definitely. Yeah, price continues to move down. Ideally now, what we want to wait for is like a 15M chart, right? Because now we know that this to continue lower, we'll have to change 15M character, right? So once we get that, we can start looking at scaling it. Go get that pretty comprehensively. We get a nice POI. Price trades back into the POI. Comes into the extreme. And again, like this for me, right? This comes into the extreme, right? This you have to notice that this comes into the fucking extreme, right? Like if it's gonna go, it's gonna go from there. Just like be brave, get in the trade, right? Because I remember I took this, right? By going, okay, well, cool. We react. I mean, I got fucked on this, right? Because I shorted this like here. I saw that charge that as like a little flip, and I got fucked there. Right, but then I saw that react to the extreme. I saw the reaction and the failed reaction, and I just went, cool, I will short that there. Right, price. Ooh. Yeah, I'll short that. Right, but you see how we work that? Like we're waiting for more confirmations now, right? We're not just sitting on the fucking 5S or whatever. Right, we're waiting until we get 15M, and then we're playing from 15M POIs, and we find 15M POIs again. It's the same thing over and 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 over again. And it's all the market does, and it's like it gives us cheat codes to print money from it. But yeah, cool. Now we've had 15M charge, right? What does the low become? Weak as Lewis's knees when he sees a goal. Right? That's what the low becomes. So all of these are getting targeted at the low. All right, market obviously like more scalings here. Right, you get another chop here. Right, price comes back in, trades into the thingy. You could definitely short that there. I think you take a loss on that one, but that is what it is. You come into the extreme again. You do same thing again. What, you and your goat?
Kyle can fuck off.
Huh?
Kyle giving it the fucking, I've got no knees.
Kyle loves giving it digging, mate. But yeah, cool. Right, and we're risk off by that point as well, right? It's the beauty of what we do. And then we just sit there laughing. And to be honest, I think after this, everyone just needs to fucking like chill and go, do you know what? Like, I don't actually need to trade for the rest of the week now. Reasonably, because it's like when you fucking, do you know what I mean? There's more trades here. I mean, me and Lewis both got stopped out on a trade in here. You bit of a ropey trade, to be honest. But, I mean, the trade that worked wasn't. The trade that me and Lewis took was, hence we got stopped out on it. But yeah, like again, look, you see, like market comes into an area of demand, reacts, liquidity comes up, and changes character, and off it goes to hell again. Like it's just the most repeatable thing ever. It's just we make it really difficult for ourselves. Yeah. Right, and then market continues down. There's some stuff around here. Yeah, there's definitely a nice short from here. Right, you see again, the market just comes up, creates new 15M supply. There you go. Like, really simple. We'll just put pips up there and see what happens. But yeah, they're like 100% there's going to be an entry. Like, no, let's not do that. Let's actually see what happens here. I mean, yeah, that really is your entry. If that gets wrong or not, I wouldn't expect that to get a reaction. I don't know what it's actually mitigated, but yeah, the way that forms, you would expect that. I don't know. But it does get a reaction, but yeah. So it's always good to actually wait for your PRIs as well. Instead of just trying to take random shit in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so I was trying to show that there, wasn't it? So yeah, it was pretty stupid thing to do. Market goes down, market goes down, market gets change of character there, so we can short that there. All right, change character there. Not sure. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah, all of you lot are gonna get fucking your asses fucking worked. He might be tiny, but he is mighty. Yeah. Sweet. Off we go potentially to hell again, and we're just looking to take out that low again. You know, we can probably trade a pullback from down here somewhere or something. But yeah, if we're just focusing on like the good shit, I'm sure there's probably a hedge from like that. Yeah, that should. See. Should give us a fucking here. What is it? What's his new Zoom pick? Yeah, there we get chart share. Fuck it, we'll trade that. See what happens. Now we're just guessing, but see what have we had. Let's actually look at a higher time frame and see what's happened. Okay, yeah, this reacts to this. Yeah, that's cool. We can take a trade from there, and then we can short that again from there. Right, because we're just seeing supply. So yeah, let's trade that back up to there. Oh, you bitch. Okay, we take a loss on that. That's fine. That's why you should actually try to analyze the market. Okay, I hear we come into this, don't we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, this makes sense. Actually, this makes much more sense than what I was trying to do. But yeah, hey ho, we take a loss. We come into the extreme. Try and pitch that again. Wow, that's a hard catch. What happens here? That reacts to this high. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that was foot. Okay, I'm choosing here. Back into that chart. Oh, nice. Okay. like, does everyone? Oh, Zoom's frozen. Is all my internet frozen again? Can anyone still hear me? Oh, no, okay, good. Yes, I know it's fucking unsafe. Oh, who's in their car? Someone's driving. Doing like a little disco dance at the same time. But yeah, cool. Right. So yeah, we trade into that. Can get more cells. Needs to come into like extreme above the liquidity. That doesn't break the range, so that should go. Yeah. Cool. That comes into the extreme. Some sort of weird charge and so wait a minute. Okay, that's better. See, now you've got, again, this is, yeah, you've got a question to ask, right? You have a charge here, right? And you have a flip here. How risky are you feeling that day? Because it might not come back to that extreme, or it might. We'll find out in a minute. There you go. And by the way, like, just so you know, like, this is, you see how, like, do you see how, like, fluid it is for me? Yeah. Like, you see how easy this, like, all right, I don't do all this, is obviously back testing. It's easier, it's hindsight, right? I haven't actually got money on the line or anything like that. Right. But you see how much, like, how everything just makes sense to me the way I'm seeing it. Like, I don't even have to mark it up much anymore, right? That's what being consistent and trading the same thing for fucking best part of a year now does, right? And just refining it and refining it and refining it. Right, like that's all it does. And I haven't worked as hard this year as I did like at the very beginning, but yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like literally you don't need to mark shit out. Like, look here, what have we got like marked out, right? Like just RR tools basically and some fucking ranges. You know what I mean? Like the only trades I actually like went through are like, well, even here, like you just see it all, right? Like it should, like literally, right? This whole journey for everyone, James wrote a fucking wicked bit about it. Like everyone's journey is come in, find the content, right? Done that, cool. FTMO, failed challenge, wicked, right? Failed my challenge, right? What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to go and look at the content and learn it now. And then I'm going to go and do that again. And I'll actually do it properly this time. And it's cost me fucking 900 quid or whatever. Right? Like it's not the way to go about it. Do it the opposite way around. Be the intelligent guy who saves that 900 quid and like, you know what I mean? Exactly. Like it's like fucking just be sensible with it. You know, like we should all be able to sit here and just go, yeah, okay, we were all in all of these. You know, let's go and buy a Hustle Island this weekend. You know, that's the goal, right? And then yeah, cool. Now, okay, now what happens? Well, now I think we're going to come down into that very nice. I mean, and here, yeah, reasonably, we've had a reaction from, and this is the other thing, right? Like now, right? If we're looking at this, we've had a reaction from this that has failed to follow through. So this is targeted at reasonably at this low. Like this low shouldn't hold on it because the demand level that breaks structure has got a reaction that's failed to break structure. So the low becomes weak. I mean, in here, reasonably, like you don't even have to close these yet. You could just like partial them, hedge that, right? Like look for a hedge in here somewhere, look for more scaling, right? and then you've all of a sudden got these are all like 1 to 80s, 1 to 100s. Right, these two are 1 to 40s. You know, you've not done badly out of 1 A to B leg there, have you? You know, like this one here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're done. Like, you don't need to look at a market again for the rest of the fucking decade if you're trading enough capital on that, right? 5 mil, it's not bad that actually. And then we tap into this, you know, like we've run a week low, get long. Simple, just get long. Find a way. What happens? Yeah, well, we create this extreme, yeah, it doesn't break structure or whatever. We can take a short from up here somewhere to cover our asses for probably getting stopped on this, but in this case, we can go, okay, well, there's our extreme. And yeah, there's our extreme. There's our church. There's our some kind of flip here. There's our entry, right? Super simple trade, that one. Right, and that one, you know, it's FOMC, like, hold that bitch, you know. Like that one, again, if we're looking at this and going, well, where does it look like to everyone that there's a large pool of liquidity? I'll give you each 5 points if you can point out the massive fucking pool of liquidity to me. Not quite up there, but yeah. Indicators, they have a liquidity indicator. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. All right. So if we're being sensible, where are we going to take volume off this trade? Right, when it runs the high. Right, when it takes out all of the liquidity, all of this is weak as shit. Right, we're starting to see that fucking huge momentum into that. All right, price is only going one direction. Right, like literally. God, if I was this good trading, right, I'd be fucking incredible. I'm only taking one loss a week. No. Market obviously continues to move up. There's probably scalings like down there as well. Yeah, market range in Asia, right? Lewis, you got a continuation here, didn't you? Sure you did.
Yeah, I took continuation there, yeah.
Yeah.
I took a sell and then I took a buy.
Yeah, it's quite a clever little trade, that one, actually. From here, didn't you? There's something in here you got.
Yeah, that, yeah, that, when it took that.
But yeah, it makes complete sense when it takes out that high. I took a short here, which was a bit of a dumb fuck thing to do. But then, yeah, anyway. Yeah, here, right, I was like, okay, this is reacting. We've had a change of character. Cool, we mitigated this, right? I didn't actually take a trade here. But I was like, I want to see a little bit more development, right? Just because I didn't like the way, like, it was just forming really correctedly at this point in time, right? So I just wanted to wait and see another, like, nice lower high form, right? And this is just something, you know what I mean? Like, this sort of comes with experience. You just look at the PA and you go, do you know what? I don't love that. I'll just wait, you know? Oh, Joseph Nielsen, you're Mr. Strike Boy, are you? Huh? Fucking smart ass. Data boy, yeah, that's you. Oh, nice, Joseph, cool. Yeah, that actually did be quite a weird experience to know everyone's actual name. I'm Sam. Nice to meet you all. But yeah, it's all recorded, mate. Don't worry about it, don't stress. But yeah, then so here, right, the way I saw that was about high here. That completes there. This is easier, and then we got another lower high here. So this was the whole fucking, this whole shit is fucking, yeah. This ugly bit of PA here was what I took as the range to broke structure. Ooh. Uh-oh. We're done. Where are we? Okay. Yeah, then we had a chotch away from that there. So yeah, I hit that when it came back. And that's what I did, right? So it makes sense. So if it worked. Maybe I didn't take it. Maybe I want another chotch from there. That would sort of make sense now because we do this whole fucking angle thing. Where did I take that? Maybe I took that over here. Oh yeah, no, I took it over here because here's where we broke the low. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not trading. Yeah, we get a chotch and a flip here. I wanted to try and cover the high as much as I could because it was sort of really cool. So wasn't too much of a fan of that. But yeah, then get that right. Again, market's going to likely take out something, especially if that something is at a premium. What's that? That's this. Right, then there's this range, which is 15 M widths, right? We counter everything, so yeah. Market falls off nicely. Comes into here, and here again, for me, I wanted a 15 M chop, right? Personally, I know a few people took that from here, but I was just like, well, there's big equal lows here. We've had a 15 M chop, so we're going to have a 15 M back. Yeah, let's wait and see if we get this 15 M chops, right? We create an inside bar, we break the inside bar, go and find the culprit. What the fuck is happening? Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know where this candle has gone, but yeah, now we can trade from this. What is it? What the fuck is happening? I'm sure I got a miss here. Ah, yeah, there we go. There we go. There's the range. Yeah, and again, this I was like, okay, well, here we see the flip. Cool, flip gets mitigated. Cool, I'll get in it. Right, and again, like reasonably here, we're just trading towards that big pool of liquidity, right? That big that thing that we're targeting with that, right? So cool. Play that on. You know, but how many of these do you actually need? Do you know what I mean? I look at it. Like we like this, right? Is what this fucking strategy gives us the ability to do, right? We can have like all of our rule set fits every single one of these fucking trades, every single one, right? What like the smallest trading there's a 1 to 10. Do you know what I mean? And look, there you go. There's a fucking like there's a 1 to 133. There's like 3 1 to 80s. there's a 1 to 30, there's, you know, another 1 to 20 that's just a pullback trade. You know what I mean? Cool, market moves up, right? And then yeah, just wait, wait for a bit more development, and then you can take the shorts that we've been talking about today. But yeah, that makes sense, everyone. Good weekly review. Yeah, cool. Yeah, sorry, I would go a bit more in depth, but I'm really not feeling on top of the world. So I'm going to leave you all to it, and catch you all next week. All right? Yeah, we had fucking bat flu, bro, something like that. But yeah, cool. All right, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Rest up. Next week's coming up to Christmas, isn't it? So obviously we'll probably be a little bit quieter throughout the Discord as we run around and actually do some Christmas shopping, because I haven't fucking done any yet. So yeah, cool. Peace and love, guys. We'll catch you all later. Bye.